The rain pattered against the windows of Martin's grocery, creating a soothing rhythm that contrasted with the chaos inside Mia Bennett's mind. At 32, she found herself standing in the checkout line, mentally calculating the remaining funds in her bank account. The past 6 months had been a continuous series of rejection emails and polite, "We've decided to go with another candidate" phone calls. Her background in marketing had become almost irrelevant in a job market that seemed to value only the latest digital skills and trending platforms. "That'll be $87.43, the cashier announced, pulling Mia from her thoughts. She nodded and swiped her card, holding her breath. The machine beeped, and the dreaded message appeared. "Card declined." Heat rushed to Mia's cheeks. "I'm sorry, let me try again," she mumbled, aware of the growing line behind her. The second attempt yielded the same result. Her stomach twisted into knots as she fumbled through her wallet, knowing there wouldn't be enough cash. "I'll have to put some things back," she said quietly, avoiding eye contact with everyone around her. "Excuse me," came a voice from behind. "I'd like to cover this." Mia turned to see a woman in her 50s with silver-streaked hair and kind eyes. She wore a simple gray blazer over a white blouse, exuding a quiet confidence. "Oh no, I couldn't possibly," Mia began. "Please," the woman insisted. "I've been there. Sometimes we all need a little help." She handed her card to the cashier before Mia could protest further. "Thank you," Mia said, fighting back tears. "I promise I'll pay you back. Could I get your contact information?" The woman smiled. "Eleanor Vance. But don't worry about paying me back. Just help someone else when you're able to." She pulled out a business card and scribbled something on the back. "But if you insist, here's my information." As the cashier bagged Mia's groceries, Eleanor helped her organize the items. "Job hunting?" she asked, noticing the resume printouts peeking from Mia's tote bag. "Is it that obvious?" Mia laughed nervously. "I've been trying for months. Marketing isn't what it used to be." "What kind of marketing?" Eleanor asked, her interest seemingly genuine. "I specialized in campaign development and consumer behavior analysis. But everyone wants digital specialists now, and I've been playing catch-up with all the new platforms." Eleanor nodded thoughtfully. "Have you considered consulting? Many companies need someone who understands the fundamentals, not just the trends." "I've tried," Mia sighed. "But without recent experience at a recognized agency, doors keep closing." "Well," Eleanor said, handing Mia the last bag, "don't give up. The right opportunity has a way of finding those who persist." They walked together to the parking lot, where the rain had slowed to a drizzle. The gray clouds parted slightly, allowing a beam of sunlight to break through. "Thank you again," Mia said, extending her hand. "Not just for the groceries, but for the encouragement. It means more than you know." Eleanor shook her hand firmly. "Keep that resume polished, Mia. You never know when you'll need it." With a small wave, she walked toward a sleek silver sedan at the far end of the lot. Mia loaded her groceries into her weathered Honda Civic, still stunned by the unexpected kindness. She glanced at Eleanor's business card. Eleanor Vance, Chief Executive Officer, Vance Marketing Solutions. On the back, Eleanor had written, "Call me Monday at 9 a.m. Everyone deserves a second chance." Mia stared at the card, her heart racing. Vance Marketing Solutions was one of the most respected boutique agencies in the city, known for their innovative campaigns and selective hiring process. She had applied there twice in the past year without even getting an interview. As she drove home to her small apartment, Mia couldn't help but wonder if this chance encounter might be the turning point she had been waiting for. Or was Eleanor simply being kind with no real intention of helping professionally? Either way, Monday morning couldn't come soon enough. Monday morning arrived with a brilliance that matched Mia's nervous energy. Sunlight streamed through her apartment windows as she paced back and forth, Eleanor's business card clutched in her hand. The clock on her phone showed 8:57 a.m. Her apartment reflected her current state of life, a place in transition. Half-packed boxes lined one wall, a reluctant preparation for the possibility of moving back to her parents' home in Ohio if things didn't improve soon. Her lease would end in 3 weeks, and renewal wasn't an option with her dwindling savings. Mia had spent the weekend researching everything she could about Vance Marketing Solutions and Eleanor Vance. The agency had grown from a small startup 15 years ago to one of the most respected marketing firms in the Northeast, specializing in revitalizing established brands and helping them connect with younger demographics without losing their core identity. At precisely 9 a.m., Mia dialed the number on the card, her hand trembling slightly. "Eleanor Vance's office," answered a professional voice. "Good morning. This is Mia Bennett. Ms. Vance asked me to call at 9 a.m. today," she explained, trying to keep her voice steady. "Ah, Ms. Bennett. Yes, Ms. Vance is expecting your call. One moment, please." After a brief pause, Eleanor's warm voice came through. "Mia, good morning. I'm glad you called." "Thank you for suggesting it," Mia replied. "And thank you again for your help on Saturday. That's actually why I wanted to speak with you," Eleanor said. "The way you handled that situation, with dignity despite obvious embarrassment, it spoke volumes about your character. Then, seeing your resume, I'd like to invite you for an interview today, if possible." Mia nearly dropped the phone. "Today?" "Yes, absolutely. What time works for you? Could you be here at 11:30? That would give us time to talk before our team lunch." "I'll be there," Mia confirmed, already mentally reviewing her wardrobe options. "Wonderful. And Mia, this isn't charity. I've been looking at your LinkedIn profile and your portfolio website. Your work with Meridian Apparel 3 years ago was impressive. I'm interested in your skills, not just doing a good deed." After hanging up, Mia rushed to her closet, pulling out her interview outfit, a navy blue blazer and matching pants that she had thrifted but tailored to fit perfectly. She paired it with a cream blouse and the single pair of designer shoes she owned, bought during better financial times. As she applied light makeup and styled her dark brown hair into a sleek ponytail, Mia tried to calm her racing thoughts. This was an opportunity, yes, but not a guarantee. She needed to prove herself based on merit, not sympathy. 2 hours later, Mia stood outside the glass doors of Vance Marketing Solutions, located on the 12th floor of a downtown high-rise. The office space was modern but not ostentatious. Glass partitions, sleek furniture, and walls decorated with framed campaign materials from their most successful projects. "Ms. Bennett?" A young man approached her. "I'm James, Ms. Vance's assistant. She's just finishing a call. Can I get you some water or coffee while you wait?" "Water would be great, thank you," Mia said, following him to a small but elegant waiting area. 5 minutes later, Eleanor emerged from her office, greeting Mia with a warm handshake. "Come in, please. Sorry for the slight delay." Eleanor's office was a corner space with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Unlike the minimalist aesthetic of the main office, her personal space contained bookshelves filled with marketing textbooks, industry awards, and framed family photos. "So," Eleanor began, settling into her chair, "tell me about your approach to marketing." "Not what's on your resume. I've read that. I want to know how you think." For the next 45 minutes, Mia found herself engaged in the most challenging and invigorating professional conversation of her career. Eleanor asked insightful questions about campaign psychology, trend analysis, and brand authenticity. They discussed case studies and hypothetical scenarios, with Mia drawing on both her formal education and practical experience. "I notice you've been taking online courses in digital marketing," Eleanor observed, referencing Mia's LinkedIn profile. "Yes, I realized I needed to update my skill set," Mia explained. "The fundamentals of good marketing don't change, but the tools and platforms do. I've been working to bridge that gap." Eleanor nodded approvingly. "That's exactly the kind of adaptability we value here." She glanced at her watch. "Our team is gathering for lunch in 15 minutes. Would you join us? It would be a good opportunity for you to meet everyone." The team lunch took place in a bright conference room with a catered spread. Mia met the 12-person team, a diverse group ranging from recent graduates to industry veterans. The conversation flowed naturally, touching on current projects, industry trends, and good-natured office banter. Throughout the meal, Mia noticed Eleanor watching her interactions with the team. She made an effort to engage meaningfully with everyone, asking questions about their roles and offering relevant insights when appropriate. As the lunch concluded, Eleanor pulled Mia aside. "I'd like you to meet with our creative director, Daniel, this afternoon. He has a project that might benefit from your background. Would you be available to stay a bit longer?" "Of course," Mia agreed, trying to contain her excitement. The afternoon meeting with Daniel revealed the nature of the project: revitalizing a regional furniture brand that had been family-owned for generations, but was losing market share to trendier competitors. "They don't want to abandon their heritage," Daniel explained, "but they need to connect with younger homebuyers without alienating their loyal customer base." Mia felt a surge of confidence. "That's actually a specialty of mine, finding that balance between tradition and innovation." So, by 5 p.m., Mia had toured the entire office, met with 3 department heads, and discussed potential strategies for the furniture client. As James escorted her back to Eleanor's office, Mia felt a mixture of exhaustion and exhilaration. "Well," Eleanor said, gesturing for Mia to sit, "this has been quite a day. What are your thoughts?" "Honestly, this is exactly the kind of environment and work I've been looking for," Mia admitted. "The collaborative approach, the emphasis on strategy rather than just tactics, the respect for both tradition and innovation. It aligns perfectly with my professional philosophy." Eleanor smiled. "I'm glad to hear that, because I'd like to offer you a position as a senior marketing strategist." Mia blinked in surprise. "Today? Just like that?" "Sometimes you just know when something fits," Eleanor replied. "Your qualifications are solid, your thinking is aligned with our approach, and the team responded well to you. Plus, I've learned to trust my instincts, and they're telling me you belong here." She slid a folder across the desk. "This contains our offer. Take it home, review it, and let me know your decision by Wednesday." As Mia left the building, clutching the folder to her chest, the setting sun cast long shadows across the city streets. 24 hours ago, she had been contemplating moving back to her parents' house, defeated by months of rejection. Now, she held the possibility of a fresh start in her hands, all because she had encountered the right person at the right moment. 3 weeks into her new position at Vance Marketing Solutions, Mia found herself working late, surrounded by research materials for the Hartwell Furniture campaign. The office had emptied hours ago, but she remained at her desk, determined to crack the creative challenge that had been eluding the team. Hartwell Furniture had been a fixture in the Mid-Atlantic region for over 70 years, building a reputation for solid craftsmanship and timeless designs. However, their sales had been declining steadily as younger consumers gravitated toward trendier, more affordable options. The company's third-generation owner, Thomas Hartwell, was resistant to major changes, fearing they would alienate loyal customers and dilute the brand's heritage. Mia's desk lamp cast a warm glow over the mood boards, market research reports, and competitor analyses spread before her. Her computer screen displayed the current Hartwell website, outdated, difficult to navigate, and failing to showcase the craftsmanship that was the brand's true differentiator. "I thought I might find you here," came Eleanor's voice from the doorway. Mia looked up, surprised. "I didn't realize anyone else was still in the office." "Board meeting ran late," Eleanor explained, stepping into Mia's workspace. "Making progress?" Mia sighed. "Yes and no. I understand the challenge, how to honor Hartwell's craftsmanship while making it relevant to younger buyers. But Mr. Hartwell rejected our initial concepts as too modern." Eleanor nodded. "Thomas is protective of his grandfather's legacy. Can't blame him. But it does make our job harder." She pulled up a chair. "Show me what you're thinking." For the next hour they discussed various approaches, with Mia presenting ideas that bridged tradition and contemporary appeal. As they talked, a clearer strategy began to emerge, one that would showcase the stories behind Hartwell's pieces rather than just the furniture itself. "That's it," Eleanor said, excitement in her voice. "We need to make this about the stories, the craftsmanship, the people behind the products. Millennials and Gen Z might not connect with traditional furniture aesthetics, but they value authenticity and craftsmanship." "Exactly," Mia agreed. "Instead of trying to make the furniture look trendy, we showcase the timelessness of quality and the sustainability of buying pieces that last generations." It's actually perfectly aligned with younger consumers' values. Eleanor smiled approvingly. Draft a presentation for Thomas with this approach. I think he'll be more receptive if we frame it as elevating what makes Hartwell special, rather than changing it. I'll have it ready by tomorrow afternoon, Mia promised. Perfect. And Mia? This is why I hired you. You understand that good marketing isn't about chasing trends. It's about finding authentic connections. Eleanor stood to leave. Don't stay too late. Fresh minds make better decisions. After Eleanor left, Mia worked for another hour, energized by their conversation. She finally packed up around 10 p.m., her mind still buzzing with ideas as she drove home. The next morning, Mia arrived early to refine her presentation before the regular workday began. By noon, she had a comprehensive strategy ready to present, one that respected Hartwell's heritage while positioning it for contemporary relevance. "This is excellent work," Daniel, the creative director, said after reviewing her slides. "Let's schedule a meeting with the client as soon as possible." 2 days later, Mia found herself in the Hartwell Furniture showroom, seated across from Thomas Hartwell himself, a distinguished man in his 60s, with a craftsman's calloused hands and a businessman's shrewd eyes. "Ms. Bennett," he began, after introductions were complete, "Eleanor tells me you have a fresh perspective on our situation. I'll be honest, I've been disappointed with previous attempts to modernize our brand. We're not some disposable furniture company. Our pieces are meant to become heirlooms. And that's precisely why previous approaches haven't worked, Mr. Hartwell," Mia replied confidently. "They tried to make Hartwell something it's not. What I'm proposing is to amplify what makes you special. The craftsmanship, the stories, the legacy." As Mia presented her strategy, she could see Thomas's initial skepticism giving way to interest. She proposed a campaign centered around furniture with a story, featuring multi-generational families with their Hartwell pieces, craftspeople in the workshop showing their techniques, and an emphasis on sustainability through longevity. The digital component would include a series of short documentaries about your craftspeople and the techniques they use, Mia explained. "We'd create an interactive timeline showing how certain design elements have evolved while maintaining their essential character. The website would be reimagined not as a catalog, but as a gallery, with each piece presented with its story and craftsmanship highlights." Thomas leaned forward, engaged. "And you think younger customers will respond to this?" "Research shows that 82% of millennials and Gen Z prefer brands with authentic stories and sustainable practices," Mia replied. "They're actually perfect customers for Hartwell. They just don't know it yet because the current marketing doesn't speak to them." By the end of the presentation, Thomas was nodding thoughtfully. "This is the first proposal that feels right," he admitted. "It honors who we are while inviting new customers to understand our value. Ms. Bennett, I believe you truly understand what Hartwell stands for." As they left the showroom, Eleanor gave Mia an approving nod. "You won him over." "That's no small feat. The key was listening to what he was really concerned about," Mia explained. "He wasn't resisting change. He was protecting his family's legacy. Once I understood that, the approach became clear." "That insight is what makes you valuable," Eleanor said. "Now comes the hard part. Executing this vision within budget and timeline." The next 6 weeks were a whirlwind of activity as Mia coordinated with the creative team, production crew, and digital developers to bring the Hartwell campaign to life. There were late nights, heated debates over creative directions, and the constant pressure of deadlines. The campaign represented not just a client project but Mia's opportunity to prove herself worthy of the chance Eleanor had given her. Challenges emerged. A key craftsman was reluctant to be on camera. The production schedule conflicted with Hartwell's manufacturing deadlines. Budget constraints threatened to limit the scope of the documentary series. Each obstacle required Mia to find creative solutions while maintaining the integrity of the strategy. Through it all, Eleanor provided guidance without micromanaging, offering support when needed, but allowing Mia the space to lead. "This is your vision," she reminded Mia during a particularly stressful week. "Trust yourself to see it through." The night before the campaign presentation to Hartwell's executive team, Mia stayed at the office until midnight, reviewing every component one final time. As she finally headed home, exhausted but satisfied, she thought about how much had changed since that rainy day at the grocery store. The woman who had been counting pennies and facing eviction was now leading a major campaign for a respected agency. In her apartment, now unpacked and renewed with a fresh lease, Mia collapsed onto her couch, too tired to even change clothes. On her coffee table sat the check for her first month's salary, more money than she had seen in a long time. Beside it was a thank you card she had yet to mail to Eleanor, struggling to find words adequate to express her gratitude. As sleep began to overtake her, Mia's phone chimed with an email notification. It was from Eleanor. "Whatever happens tomorrow, remember this. You've already proven yourself. Now get some sleep. Tomorrow we show Hartwell how to tell their story to a new generation." With a smile, Mia closed her eyes, ready to face whatever challenges the presentation might bring. The Hartwell Furniture showroom had been transformed for the campaign launch event. Interactive displays showcased the craftsmanship behind each piece, while large screens played portions of the documentary series featuring the company's artisans. The space buzzed with energy as industry professionals, media representatives, and longtime customers mingled among the carefully arranged furniture displays. Mia stood near the entrance, greeting guests and directing them to various exhibits. She wore a tailored charcoal suit, purchased with her recent paycheck, and carried herself with a confidence that reflected her growing comfort in her role. "Quite a transformation," came Thomas Hartwell's voice as he approached. "Both the showroom and you, Ms. Bennett." Mia smiled. "Thank you, Mr. Hartwell. Are you pleased with how everything has come together?" "Beyond pleased," he admitted, surveying the room. "When my grandfather started this company, he insisted that the story of each piece was as important as the piece itself. Somehow, over the years, we lost sight of that in our marketing. You've brought it back to life." Their conversation was interrupted by Eleanor, who joined them with a glass of champagne in hand. "The early social media metrics are exceeding projections," she informed them. "The craftsman profiles are being shared extensively, especially among the 25 to 40 demographic we were targeting." Thomas nodded approvingly. "I've already received calls from several design influencers who want to feature our process, and more importantly, 3 young couples came in yesterday specifically because they saw the preview materials online. They all mentioned wanting furniture with meaning for their first homes." As the evening progressed, Mia circulated through the event, answering questions about the campaign and accepting compliments from colleagues and clients alike. In a quiet moment, she found herself standing before a particularly beautiful cherrywood dining table, the centerpiece of the showroom. "That was my grandfather's design," Thomas said, joining her again. "We've been making it almost unchanged for 60 years. Mia ran her hand over the smooth surface. "It's timeless. That's what we wanted to convey. That true craftsmanship doesn't go out of style." "You've done more than help our marketing, Ms. Bennett," Thomas said seriously. "You've helped preserve a legacy. I was considering selling the company before this campaign. Now I'm inspired to continue." After the guests departed and the team began cleaning up, Eleanor found Mia sitting alone in a corner of the showroom, taking a moment of quiet reflection. "You should be celebrating," Eleanor remarked, taking the seat beside her. "The campaign is a success, the client is thrilled, and you've more than justified my decision to hire you." "I was just thinking about how much has changed in such a short time," Mia replied. 6 weeks ago, I was ready to give up on my career and move back home. Now," she gestured around them. "Now you're thriving," Eleanor finished for her. "But you earned this, Mia. Yes, I gave you an opportunity, but you're the one who seized it and created something remarkable." Mia turned to face her mentor. "Why did you help me that day at the grocery store? You could have just paid for my groceries and gone on your way." Eleanor was quiet for a moment before responding. 27 years ago, I was where you were. Talented but overlooked, running out of options. Someone took a chance on me when I needed it most. I've never forgotten that, and I promised myself I'd do the same when I was in a position to help someone else. Well, thank you for keeping that promise, Mia said sincerely. The true thanks is seeing what you've accomplished, Eleanor replied. And speaking of accomplishments, The board has approved the creation of a new department focused on heritage brands, looking to reconnect with younger consumers. After the success of the Hartwell campaign, we'd like you to lead it. Mia's eyes widened. Lead a department? That's a tremendous opportunity. And a tremendous responsibility, Eleanor cautioned. It means building a team, managing a budget, and being accountable for results. Are you ready for that challenge? Without hesitation, Mia nodded. Absolutely. I've learned that I work best when facing challenges that seem just beyond my reach. That's what I was hoping you'd say, Eleanor smiled. We'll make the announcement next week. Later that night, as Mia drove home through the city streets, she reflected on the journey that had brought her to this point. The random encounter that had changed everything. The kindness of a stranger who became a mentor. The opportunity that arose from a moment of personal humiliation. She thought about the countless job rejections she had received, each one feeling like a personal failure at the time. Now she could see them as redirections that ultimately led her to where she needed to be. At a red light, Mia noticed a young woman at a bus stop, clutching a portfolio case and looking tired but determined, perhaps coming from a job interview or heading to one. She recognized that look of cautious hope, mixed with creeping doubt. When the light turned green, Mia made an impulsive decision. She pulled over near the bus stop and rolled down her window. "Excuse me," she called to the young woman. "Are you waiting for the bus? It's getting late, and I'd be happy to give you a ride if you're comfortable with that." The woman hesitated, understandably cautious. "I'm Mia Bennett. I work at Vance Marketing," Mia added, showing her company ID badge. "I promise I'm just offering a ride." After a moment's consideration, the woman approached. "Actually, that would be great. I'm Emma. I just had an interview downtown, and the buses are running less frequently this late." As Emma settled into the passenger seat, Mia noticed the portfolio. "Marketing or design?" she asked. "Graphic design," Emma replied. "Just graduated last month. The interview today was my 7th this week, but no offers yet." Mia smiled knowingly. "I've been there. It can be discouraging, but the right opportunity has a way of finding you when you least expect it." As they drove through the night, Mia shared some of her own journey and offered advice about navigating the industry. By the time they reached Emma's apartment, Mia had learned enough about her work to be impressed. "Our design department is actually looking for junior designers," Mia mentioned, handing Emma her business card. "Send your portfolio to this email, and I'll make sure it gets seen by the right people." Emma's face lit up with surprise and gratitude. "Thank you. You have no idea how much that means." "Actually, I do," Mia replied with a warm smile. "Sometimes we all need someone to open a door. The rest is up to you." As she drove the final stretch to her own apartment, Mia felt a profound sense of completion. The circle that had begun with Eleanor's kindness was continuing through her own action. There was something powerful in that continuity. The understanding that small moments of compassion could cascade into life-changing opportunities. In her apartment, Mia kicked off her shoes and walked to the window, looking out at the city lights. 6 months of rejection had nearly broken her spirit, but a single afternoon had changed everything. Not just her employment status, but her perspective on setbacks and the interconnectedness of lives. On her kitchen counter sat the thank you card for Eleanor that she had struggled to complete. Inspired, Mia picked up a pen and finally found the words, "Thank you for seeing potential where others saw only need. I promise to carry that vision forward, both in my work and in how I treat others. Some debts can never be repaid directly, only passed along through our actions. This is just the beginning." As she sealed the envelope, Mia knew that while her professional journey was taking an exciting new direction, the more meaningful path was the one that connected her experience to others, a continuous chain of opportunity and gratitude that extended far beyond a chance encounter in a grocery store checkout line.